Today I fucked up by sleeping with my sister-in-law before my wife and I were together. I guess the F up could also be not being sure my sister-in-law knew that my wife didn't know this. I met my wife through a different sister of hers. That sister of hers I've worked with for like 7-8 years, have dragged along with me when I changed companies 2 times, and I've been really good friends with since day one. Like 6 years ago she had some kind of party and her other sister, not my wife, was there, and we ended up hooking up. Like textbook definition, just a random one-night stand and nothing more. Around a year later I met my assistant's other sister, my wife, hit it off immediately. Rest is history. Been together 5 years and married a year and a half. I never found it pertinent to bring up that I'd slept with her sister. She asked if I'd slept with her sister that I work with, since we've always been close and travel together a lot for work, and I said no because I haven't, but that's all that's come up. Fast forward to now. My wife is super pregnant with twins. Apparently her sister that I slept with just assumed that it had come up and she knew, because in reference to the twins she said something earlier along the lines of, "I'm glad he kept that super jizz out of me." My normally super calm and collected wife absolutely lost it. I'm genuinely not sure if I'll be back out of the doghouse for weeks. It is very not good. Too long did not read. Slept with my wife's sister before I met my wife and she just found out. Edit. A decent few people are mentioning that I should have known she cared after she asked about the first one. It wasn't that kind of conversation. She apparently just imagined I'd slept with her sister I work with for the first months of our relationship, and was going for an "I'm the sister who bangs the best" joke, not an important discussion about sexual histories. Why didn't you mention it when she asked about the sister you worked with? That seemed like a good time to mention it. Wow. Genuine question. When would be the appropriate time to bring that up? Might not have worked well on the first date. Your sister was good, but you're so much better. Also, just an FYI. If you're ever going to be in contact with someone you've slept with in the past, you better be damned sure to share that information with your wife. Saves her from looking like a fool. Half of her hurt right now is you making her look foolish and not sharing important details with her. Not a good look op. Hopefully you will make it up to her. Counterpoint. If you slept with her sister over a year before you started dating, wouldn't it have been the sister's job to tell your wife to be? Hey sis, just so you know, we hooked up a year ago. So are we not going for the trifecta here? Today I fucked up by eavesdropping on my mother's phone call. Throwaway account. A little backstory. I, 28M, have been dealing with severe depression for most of my life and have been hospitalized for attempting suicide 3 different times. Part of dealing with my severe chronic depression is to make fun of myself for having it and to make light of these feelings so they don't weigh so heavily on me. Well, today I made a joke to my mother about it because I've been feeling down as I suspect my meds aren't helping as much as they should. Later I heard my mother on the phone with my stepfather and heard her say my name. Naturally I was curious to hear what was being said of me. So I crept up to the door to her bedroom so I could hear what she was saying. I wish I hadn't. The first thing I hear is, "He was making those jokes again." Followed by after a short pause, "Stepfather's name. How can I possibly tell my own son that I wish he wasn't joking and that he'd actually off himself?" It felt like someone just drove a large spike through my chest and was twisting it around. I started to bawl my eyes out and I guess I wasn't as quiet as I thought I was since after I had finally made it to my room, she came knocking on my door wanting to talk and she sounded panicked. As of right now I'm laying at bed typing this through the tears that I can't seem to stop with her texting me every few minutes wanting me to come out of my room and talk because I misunderstood what she meant. Too long did not read. I made a joke about committing suicide and later I hear my mother confess to my stepfather that she wishes I'd actually kill myself. ETA. I just woke up and I want to thank those well-wishers that DM'd me. To those that commented, I will read and reply to ever comment when I have the energy to do anything more than just lay in bed and cuddle with my 2 cats. My mother told me something similar about my younger brother once, and when he actually ended up killing himself at 21 it destroyed her. I never told him what she said to me, but she still apologizes for it every time we visit his grave. She loved him, she still does, she never wanted him to die. No one wants you to die either. Hang in there. You make these jokes as a kind of release. She was making that comment as a kind of release as well. Your jokes are undoubtedly painful for her to hear. Her comment was painful for you to hear. Neither of you meant what you said literally. The fact that she's panicking and trying to talk to you now makes me think she didn't mean it. It's difficult to suffer from depression and it's also hard work to love someone through their depression.